All right. Looks like we're rolling. Hi guys. Hey, it's Ryan and Rebecca here. I don't know about anybody else, but we are super ready to start this 24-day challenge tomorrow. We've had a great holiday. We hope all you guys have had amazing holidays too, and that you are ready to make 2017 just get it off to an amazing start. So the group challenge is starting tomorrow, all right, Monday, January the 2nd. I think we've got 230 some people getting ready to
kick. Far.
Yeah, there's still time to join, but getting ready to kick off here the 1st of January. And we just wanted to take a few minutes today, kind of walk through some of the products, because I know we've got some brand new people that are starting with us, and we've got some people that are doing it that have done it for multiple times now. And we've got some good tips that you guys can use too. But we just kind of want to walk through the program, share some of our experiences with you, because we've been doing this now for almost 6 years. So we have literally coached hundreds of people to get amazing results, and a lot of those results start with this 24-day program that we are getting ready to start tomorrow.
Yeah.
So with that, let's start with some basics. And one of the most important days of the entire challenge is today. And a lot of it has to do with preparation for tomorrow and the rest of the program. So I think you've got some great tips you want to share with everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. So preparation is key. And that starts in the grocery store. If you've ever done the cleanse, then you know that it's an eating cleanse. And it has a lot to do with fueling your body the right way and having those foods on hand. So making a trip to the grocery store, making sure that you're prepared is absolutely huge. Shopping the perimeter of the grocery store is really where you want to focus. We are going to be eating every 2.5 to 3.5 hours, probably at least 5 times a day, if not 6 times a day. So incremental, every 2.5 to 3 hours, you're going to have a small meal. So starting with breakfast, a mid-morning snack, lunch, mid-afternoon snack, dinner, and then possibly before bed snack if you want that. So I have lots of tips, and I'm not sure the order that we're going to go in. We're just going to go back and forth and keep this really casual, but just think lean and clean proteins. You've all got this guidebook that's going to come with your 24-day challenge, and in the back there's a pretty comprehensive list of what constitutes a protein, what some good vegetable options are, which complex carbs to choose, snacks, healthy fats, etc. So this is all here at your fingertips. We've always said, and as Ryan said, we've been doing Advocare for about 6 years. I have kicked off my year with a cleanse since 2011, I guess. Mm-hmm. So yeah. We really like to also give people the option of upping the ante a little bit. So when you're doing this 10-day cleanse, think about the analogy of cleaning the lint out of your dryer trap, right? When you do that, your towels dry faster. Your body can absorb nutrients better. That's really the tie-in here. So the other part of the cleanse is helping reduce inflammation in your body. So one way that you can just enhance that process is to avoid putting things into your body that can cause more inflammation. So possibly considering eliminating dairy, eliminating gluten, in addition to the things that the guidebook says to avoid, which are sugar, alcohol, heavy creamy sauces, unhealthy fats, white flour. Those things are already spelled out to you to avoid. But if you're up for it and you want to raise your game a little bit, think about eliminating dairy and gluten as well, just because those things can cause inflammation in your body and you may not even realize it. If you've never done a true cleanse, I would especially recommend that you consider doing that. It's only for 10 days. Once the cleanse is over, you can start adding some of those things. If you love Greek yogurt, or if you feel like you can't live without whole wheat pasta, whatever it is for you. It's just for the first 10 days. You can bring it back in moderation, but you're going to notice this whole process is really going to help you get even more in tune with your body and how the way that you're fueling it makes you feel. And so when you do add those things back in, you might notice how they might impact your day, whereas you didn't really notice it before the cleanse. So that's just another benefit to this process if you want to take advantage of it.
Yeah, awesome. A couple other things to talk about before we get into the products. One, guys, if you purchase the All In Challenge, it's a little handy dandy little tape measure came. Take photos today, okay? Take photos. I know none of us like to, all right? But take them. They can just be just for you. But take photos and take measurements. And we have a document that we're going to post here in the group in a little bit that shows you exactly where and how to take those measurements. But you want to know, like Rebecca mentioned, reducing inflammation is a major part of this. We want you to try to ignore the scale, all right, as much as possible. And I know that can be difficult and be a challenge, but we really want to focus on one, how you feel, your energy level, and then your inches, okay? So we want you to measure before you get started. And again, the photos, the measurements, and as you progress through this program, you might be thinking, boy, I haven't lost, 20 pounds on day 5, and you're all distraught. But the reality is you're probably already starting to lose inches. And you actually might be able to tell a difference when you take a photo on day 11 as opposed to a photo on day 1. All right, so that's important to keep in mind right off the bat. Rebecca mentioned the guidebook, all right? There is a guidebook, and for those of you that are new, there you go, I want to make sure that you understand too, there's an application for your phone, all right, which is something that I like to use. Rebecca likes to use the guidebook to walk her through her day. I like to use the phone app just because it's always with me and I can still check things off. There's a virtual coach on your microsite, all right? If you go to advocare.com/24-day challenge, you'll find all that information right there. So there's multiple coaching methods to walk you through this. And one thing the guidebook mentions is water. All right, and that sounds very, very simple. And it recommends that you take your body weight, divide it by 2, and that's how many ounces of water you should drink throughout the course of the day while you're doing this program. My recommendation to you is to drink more, okay? And drink as much as possible. We've both got ours with us right here, all right? We've already started as well. But, as you're going through this, like Rebecca said, you're going to get a lot of bad stuff out of your system. And you want to have enough water in your system to make sure that you flush it all out of there, okay? So make sure that you're drinking. One thing that we like to do, we like to keep gallon jugs available. We get these at the grocery store and we refill them. In a gallon, there's 128 ounces, all right? So that's probably going to satisfy most of your water requirements out there. And I would say this too, once you think you've met, your water requirements, keep drinking. The more, the better. And that's okay, all right?
Yes, absolutely. It makes a huge difference. This is one of the coaching points that seems like it comes up probably the most often. Even if you think you're drinking enough water, measure it. Make sure that you're keeping track. And those gallons are just a really easy way for us to be measuring because we're always pouring our water out of it so we can watch it go down throughout the day. And it helps us also to keep a pace and make sure that we're not consuming a half a gallon of water at the end of the day. If I'm only a third of the way through it after lunch, then I know I better pick up my pace. I'm not getting through that water fast enough. But the gallon is really a good benchmark for most. I would encourage you to shoot for that. That was our baby step goal today. We've really enjoyed the holidays, as Ryan said, and so we aren't on the cleanse yet. But today our goal is just, hey, let's see if we can get all our water in today. That would be a good just New Year's Day. Let's start to get back on track, kind of a thing. But do measure, because if you're talking to whoever's coaching you or you're working with one of us, that's going to be one of the first questions that we ask if we're doing troubleshooting is exactly how much water are you drinking? And we do count the water that we mix with our Spark. We're pouring it out of that jug. The water that we mix, if we're doing a meal replacement shake during the cleanse, we're pouring it out of that. So that it does help us get through that goal, more quickly than just drinking straight up water every time.
Yeah, and just again, part of preparation. And again, preparation is key for success. We typically put that gallon in the refrigerator the night before. So when we wake up in the morning and as we start to walk through our program here, as we have our first Spark, we pull it right from our gallon jug. And we like it nice and cold, so that way we've got it available and it's ready to go.
Before you say that, if you don't want a cold beverage in the morning, especially this time of year, I have a couple of little tips that you can use. So for a lot of people who might be coffee drinkers or just used to having a hot drink in their hand in the morning, especially in the wintertime, that can be a hard thing to give up. You might not want a nice cold Spark first thing in the morning. There are a couple flavors of Spark that are awesome hot. And I've been doing these two pretty much since before it got cold, probably just when it seemed like it should be cold in late September or October. Mandarin Orange Spark, awesome. as a hot drink. I put a little cinnamon on it. Or you can even do pumpkin spice, really, really good. Or I like cherry spark hot also. That's kind of to me, those are my two favorites. But just know that that's an option for you if you have that crutch of a hot beverage in the morning. You don't have to drink your spark cold.
Yeah. Take advantage of these guys, these meal prep containers that came with your all-in bundle today. Rebecca and I will be doing this. We're going to go ahead and we'll be baking chicken. We'll be preparing some dishes ahead of time so that we can put our protein and our vegetable in here. Keep this in the refrigerator so that it's ready to go the next day. Maybe it helps you to prepare a day ahead of time and take it to lunch with you the next day. You can put these are great for leftovers, so you can use them the next day if you make a 24-day challenge meal at dinner and you got leftovers, and that way you've also got your lunch ready to go the next day. And the more you can prepare ahead of time and plan out your meals a week ahead of time, you're going to be in better shape and set yourself up more for success.
Absolutely. And I have supplies here to just share with you a couple of quick things that we like to do to fill up these meal prep containers. And we could probably fill up 4 or 5 of them with each of these recipes. I use the word recipe, but it's really the easiest thing in the world. Yeah. A jar of this green salsa looks like this. And I'll post a picture of this in the product page also, but just for those of you that are watching this video as a way to prepare, this and a package of chicken breasts, whether it's 3 or 4, it really doesn't matter. That's the recipe. Put it in the crock pot for 6 hours. It shreds beautifully. And it goes over brown rice, it goes over a salad, it's so versatile, and it really is quite tasty, and we don't get tired of it. And just pair it with whatever vegetable you like, and that crock pot full of shredded green chicken will give you all your lunches for the week, or you can eat it for dinner one night and eat it for lunch for the next day or two. So that's one of our favorites. You can do the same thing with red salsa. And you can spice it up with a package of low sodium taco seasoning. And the same thing, you can make chicken burritos, you can make a little burrito bowl, you can do all kinds of things with this. And it's so easy. Like literally you just pour this in, put the chicken breast in, and you're done. So those are 2 of my favorite cleanse-friendly things to just no-brainer have meals that are ready to go.
Yeah, awesome. So I think with that, let's kind of walk through the first part of this program, okay? And you guys know the 24-day challenge is divided up into 2 different phases, all right? We're going to talk about phase 1, the cleanse phase, today. So as you guys open your boxes and you look at all the material that's in there, you'll see the purple M&S box, the Metabolic Nutrition System. This is phase 2, okay? So we're going to do another video on that later. So right now, take your M&S box, set it aside, all right? It's out of the picture. You don't need to worry about that. So again, we're just going to walk through the guidebook, just like you might as a brand new person getting ready to start their first 24-day challenge. So when you wake up in the morning, you literally find day 1, and it says 30 minutes before breakfast. Typically for us, when our feet hit the floor, we typically find our way out to the kitchen, and the very first thing we do is we have our spark, okay? So you're going to go out there, you're going to get your spark. And this is 30 minutes before breakfast, okay? And that's kind of important from a timing standpoint as much as you can. But take your spark, mix it in your handy blender bottle that came with your all-in package. You're going to use that, and then you're also going to look at this little green box, okay? The green box that's labeled Herbal Cleanse. And as you open that up, you're going to see that there are 10 different packets in here, all right? Obviously, 1 for each day, and they're very conveniently labeled, all right, AM and PM. A lot of times, I'll tell you what, a lot of times, just to kind of jump ahead a little bit, a lot of times people forget to take their packets at night, okay, the Herbal Cleanse tablets. So a lot of times what people will do is they'll split these up and they'll put the PM packet on their nightstand so they've got it ready to go later that night. Okay, but again, first thing in the morning, you're having your spark, and you're going to take your probiotics. Because like Rebecca said earlier, as we go through this cleanse phase, you're going to get a lot of that junk and the gunk out of your system, and you're going to get a lot of the bad stuff out of there. As we get the bad bacteria out, we want to make sure we've got healthy probiotics and prebiotics in your system so that you've got the right digestive enzymes in there. And you're going to do that first thing on the first day. Then it also lists, if you look at your guidebook, it says optional. Now Rebecca has said for years that this is the optional, non-optional product, all right? It's actually called Catalyst. Catalyst is their branch chain amino acids. It's one of our most popular and most amazing products. This is going to feed your lean muscle tissue as you go through the process. This is one of the main reasons why people lose as many inches as they do pounds in some cases, because we're going to protect your lean muscle tissue as you go through this process. And if you lose 10 pounds during the 24-day challenge, we want to make sure that you're losing 10 pounds of fat and not lean muscle tissue. So Catalyst for us is non-optional. So that's part of the first thing that we do in the morning is we take our Spark, we take our probiotic, we take our Catalyst. All right, and then 30 minutes later, we're ready for breakfast. And as Rebecca mentioned earlier, breakfast, and it very, simply lays it out for you here in the guidebook. You're looking at breakfast as a protein, a complex carb, and some kind of fruit. So that may be eggs. It could be oatmeal for your complex carb, whatever it is that you like, but we want to make sure we kickstart that metabolism first thing in the morning.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
And the 30 minutes, don't get too hung up, you guys. Yeah. The most important thing is to get the spark in your body before your food, just so that your body can utilize those nutrients on an empty stomach. You're gonna feel that mental focus a lot more if you consume your spark before breakfast. So if the timing isn't exactly 30 minutes, that's really not a big deal. Just drink your spark first, then move on to to breakfast and drinking your fiber drink. So the cleanse is my favorite. Ryan will probably talk to you more about the max phase.
That's mine.
But I love the cleanse. I feel better during these 10 days. This is my very favorite thing. So the fiber drink, fiber is good for you. It's really not a big deal. Most of you probably ordered the recommended unflavored fiber. So the best way to get this in is probably to do one of two things. You can mix it with your morning Spark. Some people like to drink most of their Spark as just Spark and then save that last little bit of it, pour their fiber packet in, mix it up, and then chug it. So that way you can enjoy your Spark and not have the whole thing have fiber in it. The other thing you can do with it is if you're doing meal replacement shakes for breakfast during the cleanse, you can pour it in your meal replacement shake. The unflavored fiber in a meal replacement shake is almost unnoticeable. You probably won't even realize that it's in there. If you chose one of the other fibers, like the citrus or the peaches and cream, I personally love the citrus just because I feel like that's what works best for my body, but I have a way of getting it in in the morning that's really easy for me. I just mix it into segments. I don't mix the whole packet at once, and I sprinkle a little tiny bit of Spark on top of each section of it, and I do it like a shot. It's super easy. The peaches and cream fiber drink is the other choice, and if you chose this, it's really easy to drink by itself with just water mixed the way that the package recommends. So that's a really easy one too. So just remember, fiber is good for you. It's going to not only make sure that you're getting enough fiber, but it's going to help the whole process work in terms of getting things moving waste out of your body, and just helping you get more regular.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. All right, so as you have breakfast, and I will make a quick plug for that meal replacement shake. That is a super easy option to get the right nutrition in your system right off the bat. We have used meal replacement shakes going on 6 years now, mainly for breakfast. All right, and it's a great way. We mix them with water, the same shaker bottles that we use, and it just especially for people that are working and on the go, and you're trying to get the kids ready in the morning. It's a super way to get those complex carbohydrates and the protein in your system to kickstart that metabolism. All right.
Yeah.
Now
don't make it the night before.
No.
Last year in the All-In Challenge, we had a friend, a neighbor, who decided he was going to be really time efficient, and he made his meal replacement shake the night before and put it out in his car. Not recommended. It takes about 10 seconds to make it. You literally just put water and your shake pouch in the shaker bottle and shake it up. So there's no need to save time by making it ahead of time.
And then you're good to go. All right. And so you're walking through your day. All right. You've eaten breakfast, and then somewhere between breakfast and lunch, and like Rebecca said, hopefully like 2.5 hours later, you're ready for a snack. All right, and we want to make sure, again, the whole concept here is continually feed the machine. All right, so we want to make sure we're getting good nutrition in there to keep burning. A lot of people are amazed at how much they eat on this program, which is one of the reasons why it's so successful, because people get to eat real food, they get to eat high quality nutrition, they get to eat a lot of it throughout the course of the day. So you might be looking at this and you're saying, okay, I'm going to have a snack. So what kind of snacks are available. Well, again, go to the back of your book, and it lists several options in here, and you also have it on your microsite. But you can have fruit as a snack in the morning. You can have avocados. You can have healthy fats. Some type of nut butter. But again, just get some good fuel in your system to kind of bridge that gap between breakfast and lunch, because we don't want your metabolism to slow down, and we don't want you to start to get hungry. We want to keep your body burning on a steady, consistent basis. Then lunchtime rolls around, and again, you go back to the lean proteins Rebecca talked about earlier, complex carbs, and a vegetable. All right, it's really very simple. Now, the afternoon snack is going to come around again. And that's when, if you go back to day one and look at day one, it's going to recommend that 30 minutes before your snack, you take another Spark. Okay, so have another Spark, and that'll provide you with a little energy boost for the afternoon. It'll provide your body with some good amino acids again, heading into the afternoon. And there's also just a little bit of appetite control in here, just in case you start to get the munchies in the afternoon and you start having some of those cravings. A lot of times a little Spark will help take care of that. It also lists as optional Catalyst in the afternoon. And again, this is something that Rebecca and I rely on heavily. We take this 3 times a day. First thing in the morning, mid-afternoon, and then typically again in the evening, to make sure we're giving our body all those good amino acids. But you have your afternoon snack again, and again, you can go to the list. You can come up, apples and a natural peanut butter in the afternoon with a little bit of cinnamon is actually really, really good, and it helps satisfy some of those mid-afternoon cravings you have to get to lunchtime, to get to dinner time. And then when you get to dinner, again, you're looking at another lean protein, another vegetable, and even the guidebook says optional if needed is a complex carbohydrate. If you're going to cut out carbs at somewhere during this process, you're typically better off to cut those out in the evening as opposed to the morning. In the morning, again, we want to kickstart your metabolism, and those complex carbohydrates are really important. So if you're looking at doing complex carbs, just 2 of your 3 meals per day, do it at breakfast and at lunch to help fuel your body during the day, and then cut those out at night while you're starting to slow down.
Right. Okay, so I've got 2 things that I want to add to this. One is, real quickly, just about Spark. So a lot of times we get asked, how many of these can I have a day? Because some people are used to drinking coffee all day. Ryan used to drink 2 pots of coffee a day. Some people are drinking Monster drinks or whatever it is, a 6-pack of Diet Coke. We've pretty much heard it all. So you can have up to 3 of these a day. But what's going to be just a bit of a kind of trial and error process for each individual person is to figure out what the right amount is for you. Okay, so for me, the right amount of Spark is usually 1. 1 serving of Spark is enough for me for the day. I love in the afternoon to have a V16, which is our non-caffeinated energy drink, and that's the right amount for me. I didn't have any source of caffeine really in my life before Advocare came in 6 years ago, and I'm careful really with how much Spark I drink. Once in a while in the afternoon, I'll have maybe a half serving if I have a really long day, but the timing of that for me matters. Some people are more sensitive to caffeine, and so, I definitely just want to throw that out there, that if that's you, maybe start your first day with a half in the morning and a half when the afternoon one is recommended, and see how you do. Do the whole thing in the morning, and then just see if you even need the second optional Spark in the afternoon. But if you're sensitive to caffeine, maybe don't do the full serving of Spark in the afternoon that first day, because we want you to be well rested too, and make sure that you're able to get enough sleep. The second thing that I want to talk about just for a minute is with these snacks and with your meals, getting lots of protein is going to help your metabolism. So finding easy, convenient sources of protein that you can work into your day is really important. And make sure that those snacks aren't just a fruit. We want you to pair them with a healthy fat or with a protein, so that those snacks are more satiating and that they're helping your metabolism and they're helping with that process of fueling the machine. So just make sure you're, getting the right combinations of foods in with your snacks. It doesn't have to be a lot, but that's why we said, apple slices with a little bit of natural peanut butter or almond butter is a great choice, because you're getting that healthy carb and healthy fat combination. You could also do a healthy fat with a complex carb. Some people like to do almond or peanut butter or avocado on a rice cake. And that's a good way to combine the fat and the protein and the carb together. So just think about, enhancing those snacks so it's not just a banana, which is, basically putting simple carbs into your body. It's still fruit. Yes, that's fine. But try to get those fats in there with it, whether it's a handful of almonds. It can still be convenient, but that's just really important. One easy thing for me, in terms of getting extra protein, is muscle gain. This is 25 grams of protein. The vanilla flavor is only 130 calories. I love to mix that with a scoop of natural peanut butter and a half a frozen banana, or something else, and it's tons of just clean protein as a snack. And honestly, I think it tastes better than any milkshake that I could probably go out and buy, seriously. So those are just some strategies that we've developed over time that have just helped us get better results. So if you're looking for more tips like that, please feel free to reach out or make a post in the group that you want some more ideas. We've got lots of recipes that we will continue to try to share and work in as we all go through this process. The greens are also a great way to get those sources of plant-based nutrients into your day for the cleanse. I like to mix it with a tiny bit of Limeade Spark because I've already had my Spark in the morning, but these two combined, it tastes really good, I promise. The greens alone are really not bad, but they're really great with some key lime cherries rehydrate or a little bit of Limeade Spark. Some people like it with cherry spark. So know that these are available, and they will also help with that process of reducing inflammation in your body. They contain prebiotics to help feed the probiotics that you're putting in your body in the morning on this cleanse, and you'll notice a difference in your performance. Whether or not you're working out, even if you're just going through your day like you always do, you will feel the difference. So those are just a couple more tips that I want to make sure we leave you with as you're starting to kind of wrap your brain around the next 24 days.
Yeah, and speaking of healthy fat with your dinner, okay, don't forget your Omega Plex. All right, healthy fatty acids. Again, you're getting the bad fats out. We're going to put all great healthy fats back in, which are important for every cell in your body. So that goes along with your dinner. And as you do that, then you can have another snack in the evening if you feel like you need it. And again, that's part of, like Rebecca was saying, you can really customize this, which is what's great about the program. It's structured, it's systematic, it's a scientific program that you can tweak to meet your specific needs too. And that's also where we come into play, and I'm sure you're with somebody else now too, another coach is out there, but feel free to reach out to us with any questions too. Now, as you do go to bed, remember, we talked about this at the very beginning. Here's your Herbal Cleanse tablets, the little brown tablets that, remember, you separated from your probiotic at the beginning of the day. It's on your nightstand. Literally take this as you're falling into bed. All right, you're not going to feel it. It's not going to do anything to make you feel differently during the night. But while you're sleeping, it's going to work in there to break up all just that junk and the gunk in your intestinal tract. So when you start this process all over again on day 2, and you're putting the healthy probiotics in, and you use the fiber drink to help move all that stuff out, it's because you use the Herbal Cleanse tablet that night to break everything up, and we want to get it out of your system. So that is, in a nutshell, the first 10 days. All right, guys, it's really, really very simple. Okay, follow the guides, follow the app. It'll walk you through it step by step. Like Rebecca said, use our group page, okay? That is a phenomenal resource for accountability, for questions. If something doesn't seem right, feel free to reach out to us if you're friends with us, or shoot us a Facebook message, whatever's easiest. We want to make sure everybody's extremely successful with this and feels great while they're on the program.
So what are you going to do tonight or tomorrow morning? You're going to take your measurements. You're going to do your before picture, because everyone loves a before picture, right? Yeah. No, but seriously, a lot of you are going to see the main results of your work over the next 24 days by looking at your picture that you take when you start and the picture that you take when you end, because the scale is just really not going to tell you the whole story of what's happening. So before picture measurements, either tonight or tomorrow morning. Have your water ready, have your food shopped for and packed up and ready to go to work, or just
think about tomorrow. That's right.
Absolutely. So we're excited. We're excited to feel better. We just said it with our friends that we celebrated New Year's with last night, it's good every once in a while to let your hair down so that you can be reminded of
Yeah.
why you take care of yourself the rest of the time. So
We're ready to get back on it.
we are.
Right.
So let's do this. We're excited. We're ready to rock.
Good.
We're going all
right.
in. Let's
Happy
do it.
New Year.
Happy New Year.